Hey there and welcome back to Mass Effect 3. My name is Pete and today we complete another mission of the game's main questline, because after the events of the last episode it is time to head to Thessia, as the Reapers have finally begun to breathe down the Asari's neck as well, and as a result the Asari Counselor has revealed to us the location of a potentially powerful artifact, so today we are hoping to grab that. Before we head out though, let us quickly take a trip down to the shuttle bay and upgrade today's weapon, as we have just enough credits left to get the M22 Eviscerator shotgun up to level 5. The Eviscerator is a typical single-shot high-damage shotgun, not quite as powerful as the Graal Spike Thrower that we used to clear out the Ardat Monastery in episode 28, but it is significantly lighter, which should allow us to use powers a bit more frequently. And so, with barely over 1000 credits left in our account, we head back up to the CIC, where we will now set a course for the Asari homeworld. Thessia is located in the Athena Nebula, and this time we also barely have any scanning to do before the mission can begin. So then, here we are. As you can see, Thessia is located in this very system. However, there is one other planet that we do want to visit first.
Signal confirmed.
On the ice giant of Tivora, named after the Asari goddess of love, we can now start our scanners to hopefully find something else than the planet's science stations and moon-based mining equipment, and indeed we do, strengthening our Asari war assets. However, the bulk of the Asari forces is of course pinned down on Thessia, so that is where we need to go next. Just as a reminder, so far the Asari have been very much withdrawn from the intergalactic conflict against the Reapers. Now though, with the Reapers attacking their homeworlds, they have no other choice but to get involved, and all of a sudden they have also become a lot more cooperative. We'll have to see how much we're going to hold that against them. For now though, let's get this mission underway.
He is under heavy Reaper attack. There's activity across most of the planet.
What about the temple? Can you raise the scientists?
Negative. All channels are scrambled across the spectrum. The mission's looking really dicey.
This is too important. It's now or never.
Shepard, that's my home down there. I have to go.
Then get to the shuttle and let's do this.
Alright, so as you can see, Liara is a required squad member for this one, and I have to say, in my opinion, Javik is as well. He just adds so much to this mission that I would consider him mandatory for this one, although purely based on skill set, there are a few other squad members who might be just a tiny bit better suited. Weapons-wise, then no surprises here, Eviscerator shotgun with increases to damage and ammo capacity. That's the one we're going with, at least for the first half of the mission. In terms of powers then, we can immediately jump over to Javik and max out his lift grenade. That one might come in handy for crowd control, and as such we want to max out its radius, which conveniently enough also gives us a small damage bonus here. The remaining 6 points are then used to unlock the first 3 ranks of Slam. The fact that we had not yet unlocked it probably tells you all you need to know about how useful I find it, at least compared to Javik's already maxed out pull ability. And that would be all, so time to head planetside.
Liara, do you have anything more on this artifact?
These coordinates the Counselor gave you are for the Temple of Athame. My mother took me there once. It's several thousand years old. And for some reason, it has classified government funding.
Sounds like we're on the right trail.
What if we're too late? My people are dying down there.
Your empathy is a weakness. You must numb yourself to loss.
Thessia took you to this temple?
I was just a child. I thought it was a history lesson, but now, maybe there was more to it.
What do you mean?
I went digging through her old files. She had heavily encrypted records on this place, some dating back centuries. I still can't crack most of them. Whatever's going on, it's well hidden.
I've studied your old mission reports. Your mother was indoctrinated.
Yes. We had to kill her.
Yet it did not stop you from fighting. As I said, steel yourself. Many more lives will be lost.
Alright then, first quick morality choice of the mission, and as you know, agreeing with Javik almost always gives us renegade points, so we're not going to do that and instead stick to the Paragon path.
We can't ignore that people are dying. The Reapers may not have mercy, but we do.
It is their indifference that gives them power.
Then let's show them there's another way.
This can't be happening. My home.
There's no time to mourn. We're exposed up here.
Let's get down.
You must be Commander Shepard! Lieutenant, Outpost Typhus is running out of ammunition. We all are. Tell them to make every shot count. Eastern Perimeter reports they've been breached. Where are the reinforcements? This is Task Force Pandora, requesting reinforcements at Quad 091. Situation urgent.
Now, to actually start the mission, we want to talk to the lieutenant here. But first, let's take a look and a listen around.
I can't feel anything in my legs. What about that? It's numb from my waist down. What if I'm paralyzed? That's not going to happen. You saw what happened to Aileen and Cilia. I can't end up like that.
You won't. Now I need you to take a breath and relax. Tell me when you feel something.
I can't. There's nothing.
What about now?
Same. Numb, like my leg isn't even there.
Alright, looks like the fighting is in full effect, and I would say it's time for us to get involved.
Commander, we heard... The barrier's been breached! Commander, we'll come later!
Okay then, if that's what we need to do, then that's what we're going to do. Just like we did back on Palaven, it's time to once again fire the big guns. Now, our objective here is to keep the Husks and Brutes away from the Asari barrier, and even on Insanity difficulty that shouldn't be too difficult. Yes, the Husks are moving quite quickly and might not be too easy to hit. But as you can see, the gun is quite powerful and just a few light taps are enough to take out anything that moves. In addition, the barrier strength is fairly generous, so as long as we take the occasional look to our left and clear out anything that's clawing at it, we should be fine.
I want that gunship prepped and in the air! Plug that hole! We're on it! Someone get me a location on our snipers! Yes, ma'am! Commander, I'm Lieutenant Curran. We've been told to expect you. My orders are to hold this grid at all costs. Shore up the barrier! But our perimeter's collapsing, and I'm getting my people out of here.
This is important. We need your help.
Well, unless you can give me a good reason to stay, we're not dying for a field of rubble.
What exactly were you told about me?
Nothing but your name. Mission details were classified, which just means we'll die without knowing why.
Now, asking about the orders earlier unlocks this morality choice here, so in the spirit of true completion, let's grab 2 more Paragon points, as we can in fact sympathize. After all, our story back in Mass Effect 1 started on a very similar need-to-know basis.
I know what that's like, but you have to trust the chain of command.
We're not even sure the chain still exists. So what are we doing here?
And yes, now that we're here, I would say there is no reason to keep up the Asari's lack of transparency, so let's be forthcoming here. After all, we can use all the help that we can get.
We're after a relic inside the temple. It's important.
That's what this is all about? One of our outposts has been trying to reach the scientists over there, but we lost contact. Get that gunship moving! Now! I'm sorry, Commander. If your relic has lasted this long, it can wait a little longer. I've lost enough people today. I'm pulling the rest of them out.
No! I sense you the lineage of a leader, a warrior's skill and cunning. They are strong in your genes. But you've grown tired of war. You're exhausted by defeat, and now you worry you don't have the courage left to go on.
By the goddess, are you...
Find your resolve. This war can end if you do.
And this is Exhibit A of why you need to experience Javik on this mission at least once, and not only does he help us persuade the Asari, he also unlocks a Paragon option for us to use.
We're building a Prothean superweapon. It'll win this war.
I believe it. This is Lieutenant Curran. Hold your positions. I want a path carved to the temple. Outpost Tychus, we've got people coming your way. Let's make sure the galaxy knows the war was won on Thessia. Make it count.
I was here years ago.
To see the city burning like this is...
It can be rebuilt. Just worry about the next 20 meters. Watch it!
This has to end!
Draw strength from your anger. It will keep you alive.
Remember that, because here they come!
Right, time for some action, and carrying a shotgun we of course want to get close.
Staggered approach! Try to use cover!
We're facing just a few cannibals and marauders here, so nothing too difficult to get us started.
Push them back!
With a bit of luck, it's actually possible to catch all enemies with a powerful ability combo while they're still clustered closely together, but even if that doesn't work, the fight shouldn't be too tricky.
Then move! Get off the bridge!
Alright then, let's get moving. It looks like we have no time to waste.
On that building, we've got fire support! No! Damn them!
Keep your focus, Liara!
Those things are slaughtering my people!
Scatter and take cover!
Right, on to the next one, and we're facing more marauders here, which already goes to show that Javik might be a good companion for this mission story-wise, but perhaps not so much in terms of abilities.
Watch the edges! Don't let them get around us!
More reinforcements are now dropping in. This time it's a wave of cannibals, but again, our relative lack of anti-shield abilities might actually be the biggest challenge we are facing on this mission. To put it a bit more bluntly, if it weren't for our energy drain bonus power, some parts of this mission could get extremely uncomfortable. Suffice it to say that the marauders are far from the worst enemies we'll be facing.
What's the perimeter?
They just won't stop!
Now, in this fight in particular, our Eviscerator shotgun is of course a little bit limited due to its lack of long-range accuracy, which is why it's actually somewhat important that it's a comparatively lightweight shotgun, because as such it at least allows us to regularly use our abilities, mainly concussive shot and energy drain. Still, a good assault rifle would probably be better for this one,
More of them ahead!
but then again I'd like to show you some variety. Now, very importantly, in all of the carnage, there are actually 3 things we want to pick up on the battlefield before the fight is over. The first is a medkit right over here on the side, and the second is another one, although of course having already reached the level cap and being fully stocked, none of them actually give us anything useful and are mainly collected for the sake of completion. Object of interest number 3, meanwhile, is a slightly different story, as we can also find a Hydra missile launcher very well hidden in the corner over here. And let's just say that it's a very good idea to pick it up before we approach the exit.
That door ahead looks like our way out of this mess.
And yes, that scream is familiar and our signal to pull the trigger.
Alright, let's get moving before more of them come back.
Alright, that's a Banshee taken out, nice and easy, perhaps a bit too easy for the game engine. In any case, the first big fight is behind us and we can keep going.
I still can't face those things. My own people.
When we fought the Reapers, they turned our own children against us.
I can't imagine that.
They assumed we would hesitate to kill them.
Did you?
What answer would you prefer?
None. Let's stop talking about this. Above us!
I remember seeing one for the first time. My people had stopped believing in devils. They changed their minds when the Reapers arrived.
Yep, so that's happening, and this time we unfortunately don't have a Thresher Maw to help us out.
Ahead to the left! Snipers on the balcony!
They're Asari. We might be able to reach them.
And we should be able to do so quickly, as the 3 cannibals in this area here do not pose any kind of threat.
The Reaper is moving on. One less we get to kill.
Now, before we move up onto the balcony, there is a bit more loot to grab, and some of it is actually quite well hidden. Next to 3,000 credits from a broken shotgun on the ground, we can also find a medkit and a shotgun high-caliber barrel upstairs, and only now do we want to make our way up onto the balcony to join the Asari sniper.
Wait, Shepard just arrived.
out.
Now that you're here, as long as it takes. Can you really win this war?
We get to that temple and the Reapers are history.
Grab some gear over here if we need it, and let's do some damage. Nice shot!
Now, quite clearly, despite the fact that we were able to take out a barrier engine in the back, having a shotgun in a sniper's nest is far from ideal. Luckily, there are some useful goodies sitting right behind us, including the M98 Widow sniper rifle. We already know this one from Mass Effect 2, where we picked it up on the Collector Cruiser, and where it is by far the most powerful single-shot sniper rifle in the game, and its damage output in this game is nothing to sneeze at either, even though at this point we are unable to put any upgrades on it. Still, let's have some fun with it and start sniping away at the enemies below,
Going to cover.
which, after the barrier engine has been removed, are now a bit easier to take out.
Hit one.
Still, against the shielded marauders, a single shot is usually not enough, and that actually also brings us to the Widow's main problem, which would be its ammo capacity. Without any upgrades, we can only fire a grand total of 8 shots with this gun, which is quite a bit less than the 13 rounds it carried back in Mass Effect 2. Now, of course, there will be ways to mitigate that in the future, but for this fight right here, we can be extremely lucky that there is an ammo drop right next to us.
You hit one. Outpost Tychus isn't far from here. I can cover you. Go!
Other than that, it should probably be mentioned that at no point are we actually restricted to remaining up here. As a matter of fact, Javik has already dropped down into the fray below. Still, it looks like we've done a great job clearing out the enemies from above, and so we now only have a lone marauder left to deal with, which should hopefully allow us to grab one more melee kill.
I think we're in the clear. Let's get out of here. Toward the Reaper. It's a way out of here.
You have an interesting concept of escape.
No choice.
Now, while we collect some ammo here, these spore pods you can see scattered around are actually something that we want to stay away from. If we get too close, they explode and deal damage to our shields, which in the middle of a fight can obviously be deadly.
This nightmare never ends.
The hell it won't. We get to this artifact and we can all wake up.
50,000 years later.
Watch it!
We're trying to reach Outpost Tychus.
You're looking at it.
What about the rest of your squad?
They're all dead. We tried punching through to the scientists, but I'm all that's left.
What about reinforcements?
We had gunships flying support, but things got too hot with that Reaper. They can't chance it.
Alright then, simple dialogue choice, both options here lead to the same outcome. So as always, let's stick with the Paragon option.
I know it's rough, but I don't see another way in without their help.
Have I told you how much I hate this war? Talon Swarm, this is Outpost Tychus. Is there anybody left on this frequency? We are in need of immediate air support. Commander Shepard is here.
Copy, this is Talon 1. I'm on the way. Talon 5 inbound. Ground targets confirmed. Weapons are hot. Light them up. Talon 1, watch the jamming! Target acquired. I'm hit! The stabilizer blew out! This is Talon 5. Whatever you're gonna do, you better do it now.
Go, Commander! I'll cover you from here.
Commander Shepard, I've got your back. Let's get you into that temple.
Right, so despite what it looks like, this fight can be ended very quickly if we first take out the barrier engine and then use the missile launcher to take care of the Banshee. And with that, the battlefield is cleared and only a single Ravager in the back remains. Thankfully though, we've got air support.
Missiles are hot. That's it for the missiles. Switching to the gun.
Next time we go to war, maybe the Alliance can spring for air support.
And there we are, section cleared, time to keep pressing onwards.
Move! Now's our chance!
Now, around the corner here we have another weapon upgrade that we want to pick up, and then we want to make sure not to move too far up ahead.
Watch out, more hostiles ahead.
Commander, more of the dead are attacking.
The reason for that very clearly being that the area here is filled with more explosive spore pods, not to mention that we have a wave of husks coming in, and against those it's generally a good idea to keep some distance. In the background, meanwhile, we can watch a harvester drive off the gunship, and while that happens, we also want to be very sure that every last husk on the battlefield is dead before we proceed any further. Now, the upcoming fight can be a bit tricky, but we can make our lives a whole lot easier by taking out another barrier engine in the back, and once we've done so, we also want to make sure to restock our ammunition. With a full clip and our squad members safely placed behind cover, we then want to move forward, and using Adrenaline Rush, we just briefly want to touch this barricade here and then move back into cover ourselves. The reason for that being the emergence of not one but two flying harvesters that show up as soon as we touch the barricade, and who bring with them a wide array of ground forces as well. So our goal here is to take out that harvester on the right as quickly as possible, as the resulting explosion will deal a huge amount of damage to its surroundings, ideally killing off some of those ground forces before they can get close. In the case of these marauders here, however, the best course of action is to simply put them inside of a stasis bubble. That way we can remain focused on the main target. And there we go, the harvester explodes, we also have air support again, and it looks like the tide is turning.
I'm in trouble! My shields just took damage! Talon 5 going down. Repeat, Talon 5. Ah!
Okay, so much for air support, but thankfully the harvesters are also scripted to move on as soon as the gunship goes down, so we did not really have to take them out. That now leaves us with a single Marauder and two Ravagers, which unfortunately do not look like they have taken any sort of damage so far. To make matters worse, we have also run out of ammunition, and Ravagers are also the sort of enemies that can kill your squad members very quickly with their back cannons, so this could take a moment. Obviously, with ammo being limited, concussive shot is our friend, and so are grenades, although Ravagers are of course among the tougher Reaper units, and of course we have to make sure not to expose ourselves for too long, because even at level 60, a Ravager can kill us very quickly.
So much sacrifice. We have to make it worth something.
Alright then, the fight is finally over and we have in fact reached the temple. Some ammo and grenades can be found right in front of it, as well as another weapon upgrade.
Looks like we're in the clear. Let's get inside.
It appears the temple has been barricaded.
Let me take a look. It's military-grade encryption. I think I can override it.
Do religion and military always mix among Asari?
No, this is unusual. Especially since few still follow the Athame doctrine.
And there we go, we now have access to the temple and should take a good long look around.
Hello? Is anyone there?
Something is wrong. Your scientists should be here.
Take a look around. What's this we're looking for?
And now get ready for an interesting history lesson.
The goddess Athame's shield. Legends say she used it to protect Thessia when the heavens grew angry. Our ancestors were probably misinterpreting a meteor shower.
It was an asteroid strike. We deflected it.
You mean the Protheans? But that would imply Athame.
Is not what you believe her to be.
Just keep looking. Could this be the artifact?
I don't think so. It's the goddess Athame's sword. Myths say she wielded it against the jealous gods who threatened our ancestors.
They were a race called the Voras. Thessia had vast resources. We protected you from them.
Are you actually suggesting that the Protheans intervened in our past?
It's more than a suggestion. I find it strange your scientists would abandon their own planet.
They wouldn't.
How about this?
A page from one of our earliest religious texts, the Athame Codex. Doesn't look promising. It describes how Athame taught our ancestors mathematics.
Before that, you could only count as high as your toes. We took pity.
What about this one?
Another page from the Codex. I doubt this is it. It describes Lucin, Athame's guide who taught our ancestors about the stars.
Your species was deemed to have potential. A pity you didn't live up to it. For something as important as this artifact, there should have been failsafes.
Could this be the artifact?
I don't think so. That's a sculpture of Lucen, one of Athame's servants who walked among my ancestors, bestowing knowledge.
And you don't see the resemblance? He was no servant of an imaginary goddess. He was Prothean.
And again, this temple section here is another very good example of why Javik absolutely should be on this mission at least once.
Another page from the Codex. Not very useful. It talks about Athame's guide granting us the gift of biotics as a reward for worshipping her.
That gift involved years of genetic research.
This is almost too much to take.
What are we looking at here?
A primitive rendition of the goddess Athame. She's speaking to her ancient Asari followers. I don't think this is the artifact.
Another one of your myths that somehow looks Prothean.
What you're implying, it's staggering.
We were here in the beginning, watching you grow. Athame was us. I believe we are missing something.
I'm guessing these are the scientists.
And indeed they are, and there are also a few more artifacts over on the other side, but those are only copies of the ones we have already interacted with, so all that is left to do now is to take a closer look at this statue.
Their throats.
What happened to them?
They've been slit. The Reapers didn't do this. We're going to have to figure this out on our own.
Who's that supposed to be?
It's Athame. Her image became more like ours over time.
You mean your ancestors tried to hide the truth?
I'm still not willing to believe any of that's real.
Then why does Athame speak Prothean?
What do you mean?
There is something here. I can sense it.
In this temple? I admit it is strange this place has been so well preserved. Though Athame does have great historical significance, we once believed our gods were separate from the world, looking down on us. There is a universal energy.
There's a Prothean beacon here.
What? You're sure?
It's not something you forget.
But why hide it?
The answer is obvious. Power and influence. Your people are holding the knowledge of my race for their own gain.
That can't be. I can't believe my people would keep this a secret.
A beacon like this could explain why Asari are so advanced.
This temple is thousands of years old. Time enough to make serious progress.
That doesn't make it true.
You can't keep denying reality, Asari. Even a small amount of data would give your species an edge. Or are you insulted that your government didn't involve you?
Now, no morality points this time, but to be fair, the Protheans played a role in the development of most galactic species, of course, for better or worse.
The Mars ruins are where humanity got Mass Effect technology.
And we learned of it from the ruins of the Inusanum, the race that came before us. It was our secret for centuries.
Again then, no Paragon points for this one, but yes, at this point in the war, it sure would have been nice if the Asari had shared their knowledge.
Well, if it is true, the Asari should have shared this knowledge. We might not have been in this mess if they had.
You don't know that, Shepard. We don't know what's going on here.
I know we don't have much time to find out.
The few records I can access talk about tapping into Prothean data streams, reconstructing matrices, none of which I see here.
I do. The activation process has begun.
By the goddess. Literally.
Look around. There must be more of these connections.
Incredible. The beacon seems to think you're Prothean, Shepard. It must be the cipher you got back on Pharaohs years ago.
Or it could be the Prothean standing next to you. It's gaining power.
And yes, at this point we can just walk around the temple and activate artifacts. Some will work and some won't, but we have unlimited attempts.
This doesn't appear to be a connection. We should keep searching.
The end of the war is near. Find what we need, finish the Crucible, and vengeance is complete.
There, another one.
It's still not complete.
Doesn't look like a connection.
This confirms the Asari owe your superiority to my people.
And you owe the Mass Effect relays to the Reapers. How did that turn out?
So you do bite. Good. We'll need that. The activation is complete. We can access the beacon now.
So let's do that. After all, Prothean beacons are always very exciting.
We need to hurry. This place isn't going to... last very long.
Obtaining chronological marker. Hold. Timescale established. Post-Prothean cycle confirmed.
One of our computers.
Reaper presence detected. This galactic cycle has already reached its extinction terminus. Systems shutting down.
Hold on.
We need answers.
To what question?
The catalyst. We need to know what it is to finish the Crucible.
A memory of one of my people.
I am called Vendetta, an advanced virtual construct of Patrick Van, overseer of the project you refer to as Crucible. He died fighting the Reapers in the Battle of Tranvia 9. Your remaining time is also at an end.
We're all Protheans so grim.
Now just a quick info, of course we'll pick the dialogue option on the left first. That will change the wording of the dialogue options on the right the next time they appear, but what is actually said does of course remain the same.
What happened to the Crucible in your time? Why didn't the Protheans deploy it?
We were sabotaged from within. A splinter group argued we should dominate the Reapers rather than destroy them. It fractured our order of battle. Later we discovered the Separatists were indoctrinated.
I always suspected as much.
And now we're facing the same problem.
Our studies of past ages led us to believe that time is cyclical. Many patterns repeat.
Like the Reaper attacks.
And beyond, the same peaks of evolution, the same valleys of dissolution. The same conflicts are expressed in every cycle, but in a different manner. The repetition is too prevalent to be merely chance.
We assumed the Reapers were responsible for the pattern.
Perhaps, though I believe the Reapers are only servants of the pattern. They are not its master.
So who is the master?
Unknown. Its presence is inferred rather than observed. The only certainty is its intention. Galactic annihilation. You now stand at that precipice.
So, a bit more vague info about the Reapers doesn't really help us much at this point, so let us instead ask for help now and obtain 2 more Paragon points.
There's still hope for this cycle. We need to know what the catalyst is. Trillions of lives are at risk.
Trillions of lives are always at risk. But if the Reapers have arrived to end your cycle, this discussion is too late.
We can break the cycle. We found your plans for the Crucible. We're building it right now.
The Crucible is not of Prothean design. It is the work of countless galactic cycles stretching back millions of years. Each cycle adds to it. Each improves upon it. Thus far, none have successfully defeated the Reapers with it.
And again, we can now double down on our choice from earlier to obtain 2 more morality points, and of course we will stick to the Paragon option.
Then we'll be the first. Tell us what the catalyst is.
Listen to the human. He can be trusted.
I detect you are one of us. You are Prothean.
The last. I am the final hope to avenge our people.
Your mission was known to me. Do you believe this present cycle can deliver retribution?
They have earned the right to try.
Tell us what we need to know.
Very well. If you have followed the plans for the Crucible, I will interface with your systems and assist with the catalyst too. Indoctrinated presence detected. Activating security protocol.
You killed the scientists. What do you want?
Your attention. Someone would like to talk with you.
Shepard.
How did you find this place?
The archives. Or did your shadow broker miss that one?
Show yourself. I promise I won't miss.
Stick to your talents, Dr. Dasani. You've helped uncover the key to subjugating the Reapers.
Or destroying them.
Damn it, Shepard. Destroying the Reapers gains us nothing.
How about peace?
They're just trying to control us. Think about it. If they wanted all organic life destroyed, they could do it. There would be nothing left.
What the hell are you talking about?
I know them, Shepard. I know how they think.
I think you've gotten a little too close to the enemy.
No. I'm saying they've got it right. Why kill when you can control?
Okay, so it looks like everyone's favorite villain is here, and this time we actually have access to a reversed morality choice, because for a change it is now actually the Intimidate option that gives us Paragon points.
The Reapers have it right? You're indoctrinated. You're doing just what they want.
I could say the same of you. Wasting time on a war that can't be won.
At least I'm fighting.
Never question my ability to fight. I've been fighting them longer than you can imagine. And don't assume you know me. My methods for dealing with the Reapers are simply more refined than yours.
And 2 more Paragon points on top just to make a point, although it does unfortunately look like that's not going to change much.
You've forgotten everything you stood for. Cerberus was supposed to be humanity's sword, not a dagger in our back.
Poetic, but as usual, you missed the point. The world is more gray than you care to admit.
With the Prothean data in this beacon, I can end this conflict, once and for all. You're either with me or against me. There's nothing gray about that.
No, I suppose there isn't. Leng, the commander has something I need. Please relieve him of it. And then bring me the data.
Understood.
Alright, so welcome to what is arguably one of the more infamous fights in the Mass Effect trilogy, not only because of the person involved, but also because of how it plays out mechanically.
I've been hit! Cover me while I recharge!
Commander, the gunship!
Get to cover!
Yes indeed, this is how it goes. As soon as Kai Leng's shields have taken enough damage, that gunship will appear. Its main gun will keep us pinned down and Kai Leng's shields recharge.
You're slower than I imagined, Shepard.
Not really my definition of fun, especially if you don't have a whole lot of anti-shield abilities in the squad.
Your friend Thane died like a coward.
You'll be joining him soon.
Although, speaking of squad members,
I need to recharge! Cover me!
with Kai Leng's melee attack being pretty much an instant kill against weaker squad members like Liara, the role that your companions play in this fight is perhaps not the most important one.
Shepard is mine now.
And so it comes down to this. After another shield recharge, it's time to kite. Kai Leng does have a gun for ranged attacks, but it's not the most powerful one.
Is that the best you've got?
And our shields can also be frequently recharged with energy drain.
You're getting old. You've lost a step.
And that is basically what we are spamming here to get his shields to the next threshold. Not that we would be allowed to actually kill the guy.
You've had your fun now, Shepard. It's a pity the good ones never last. There's only one way this ends. Target the supports.
Cerberus thanks you for all your hard work.
Shepard! Hang on!
This is Shepard. Give us your location.
I repeat, is anyone on this frequency?
We read you. Give me your location.
The lieutenant's down. Our whole zone is collapsing. What happened to Shepard? Did they make it to the temple? I saw them. Wait, I've got a Reaper inbound. Please, is anybody there? Goddess, no!
Commander?
Counselor. The mission.
We've lost contact with Thessia. The planet has gone dark.
How soon will the Crucible be ready to deploy?
Counselor. I wish the news was better. We didn't get the information.
What happened?
Cerberus was there. We were defeated. We don't know how to finish the Crucible.
I don't know what to say. What was the situation on Thessia?
Deteriorating fast. The Reapers are there in strength.
Then you'll excuse me. There are preparations to make, continuity of civilization to consider. I never thought this day would come.
None of us did. I'm sorry.
Asari forces are in full retreat. It is no longer safe for us to remain in this system.
Get us out of here.
Shepard. Nobody could have predicted Cerberus would reach Thessia before us.
And there we are. After a rare defeat, it is now time to grab the last morality points of the mission, even though we should probably not be too hard on ourselves.
It's my job to be prepared, no matter what. And now Thessia is lost, as is the data on the catalyst. I'm sick of Cerberus beating us to the punch.
Let's kick them in the balls first for a change.
I'm with James. Anyone know where they're hiding? Anyone?
Well, there is something.
Let's hear it, Trainer.
I was able to track Kai Leng's shuttle through the relay and extrapolate his destination. But the signal disappeared in the Yera system.
Naturally.
It's not just gone, though. The signal is being actively blocked.
How?
I'm not sure, but something is interfering with all signal activity in that region of space.
Commander, the Yera system is home to Sanctuary and little else. Sanctuary is a supposed safe haven for war refugees.
You think it's worth checking out, Trainer?
Yes, sir, I do.
If Specialist Trainer hadn't examined the data so astutely, the interference would have been undetectable.
And despite the dire circumstances, let's not forget to give praise where it's due, which now earns us the final 2 Paragon points of this mission.
Nice work, Trainer. You've given us a shot. Now let's make sure we don't waste it.
I was stationed on Horizon in the Lyra system, and you were the only Cerberus presence while I was there.
It's a slim lead. Let's hope it's the right one.
I don't care how slim the leads are at this point. We've come too far to let Cerberus stop us. I want that Prothean data. I want the catalyst. No excuses. Dismissed.
Commander, Admiral Anderson is available on VidCom.
And there we are, with another achievement unlocked and with our next destination already located. The game will definitely begin to pick up the pace now, as a disappointing defeat now transitions us over into the final chapter, but we have a few more things still left to do before we travel to Horizon, including a brief chat with Anderson back home.
Shepard, I heard about Thessia.
We were so close, Anderson. So damn close to ending this war.
You didn't think it'd be that easy, did you?
No morality points in this conversation, so we can just go with what we feel is right. In the grand scheme of things, though, it doesn't matter too much.
I knew going in there wouldn't be a minute of this war that was easy. But watching Thessia fall, and knowing it was my responsibility.
Shepard, you know how many times I got my ass handed to me over the years? Surviving the first contact war back in the day was a goddamn miracle. They said I was a hero. I just felt lucky to get out alive. So maybe Kai Leng did beat you. What of it?
It could cost us the war.
These guys in the Resistance, they know it's a losing proposition. They know the chances of seeing tomorrow are slim to none, but we all signed up anyway. Hell, I'm sitting in London right now staring at rubble. I was born here, and it's looking like I might die here too. So I say point us at the Reapers and we'll take our chances.
And yes, let's give him and the troops back on Earth a bit of courage. Considering how this whole war is currently going, I'm sure they need it.
You'll make it, Anderson. And when this is all over, you can show me London.
It might need a new coat of paint first.
This'll be over soon.
It better. Shake this off, Shepard.
I will.
Anderson out.
Okay then, here we are with another main story mission behind us. Despite the sad outcome and the less than entertaining fight against Kai Leng, it is still among my favorites, perhaps even because of the fact that we end up walking away with nothing. For me, the Thessia mission marks a very well executed change in the so far very heroic path of Shepard, who up to this point was victorious pretty much wherever he went. But of course, setbacks are a great way to spice up a hero's journey, and this is why I feel like Thessia works so well at this point in the storyline. Now, as we're going through the rather lengthy list of recently acquired war assets, perhaps one more note: to me, Thessia also marks the point in the game where an alternative to destroying the Reapers is introduced for the first time, even though, coming from the Illusive Man, it is of course quickly dismissed. So for the moment, we will continue to follow along with our goal to end their existence once and for all, and the next step in doing so is of course to obtain the catalyst. Before we make our journey to Horizon, however, I think we will first tackle the Leviathan DLC, and I think we should also quickly complete the last 2 and 7 missions. The last one will be handed to us at the beginning of the next episode, as soon as we head back to the CIC. After that, it's off to Horizon, and then we'll tackle the Citadel DLC as the last bit of content before the endgame. I had briefly thought about splitting that up and doing the first part of the Citadel DLC much earlier, and if this was a private playthrough not going up onto YouTube, I probably would have done so, but I think for you guys it does make sense to complete it all in one go, even though that might not technically be the best fit story-wise. Either way, I'd say the plan for the rest of the series is clear, and with what we have still coming up, our total military strength of currently just over 6,500 points will likely also see another increase. For today though, I think it is time to slowly wrap things up. Again, with another main storyline mission behind us, we are one step closer to full completion, and we'll see where our journey takes us next time. Until then, I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and if you did, then I would be very happy if you could leave a thumbs up, and if you like what I'm doing and want to support me and my channel further, then you can subscribe to stay up to date, grab some merch over on shop.petecomplete.com, or check out and maybe even pledge to the Pete Complete Patreon. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.